Okay, good morning. Sorry, my voice is bad because I'm still a little bit sick. I wanted to make a little pocket for my sketchbook because I have all of these like random things I've been collecting. Some scraps of just like stuff. Here's a little Danny DeVito leopard print sticker. Honestly, my friend gave me a lot of these like random little stickers. And I don't want to get rid of them, but I definitely don't feel like they represent me at all. But part of me is like, maybe I could just put them in my sketchbook anyway. Here's one of Drake, like just sitting by himself at a table. Just whatever. Anyway, I wanted to just like make a little pocket for my sketchbook because I saw this girl on TikTok do it and I was like, that's so smart. All of these things keep falling out of my sketchbook and it's been so annoying. I have a little scrap piece of paper because I want it to be like a little bit thicker than just like a regular sketchbook paper. So I'm gonna use this. It has like some ink on it, some like little ink dots on it. I don't know if you can see or not. I don't know if I'll use that side or just the other side is blank. So we'll see how I feel. I just wanna make a little pocket. I need to show you guys what Lucy's doing right now. Lucy, how did you get back there? Girl, what are you doing? Okay, so I know most people end up putting pockets at either the end or the beginning of their sketchbook, but for me, this really didn't make sense. If I put it at the end, I know that the edge of the sketchbook would always be interfering with my drawing, and that will absolutely drive me crazy. I also don't have any space to put it on the front of my sketchbook because it's entirely filled already. I decided to pick a half-empty random page on the left-hand side of my sketchbook since I don't draw that much on the left-hand pages, so the edge won't really be in my way. I ended up using some gesso as glue to put this together, mainly because I don't have glue laying around, and this works just as well in my opinion. After I finished making the pocket, I just left it in my sketchbook for the gesso to adhere to the paper, and I started cutting out the scrap pieces of paper I had. I didn't really have a plan for this, I just started cutting. Eventually, they'll come in handy for either the sketchbook or the next. Part of me doesn't know how to feel about what I'm doing because I think artists should feel free to make bad drawings in their sketchbook and have things that don't feel done. Another part of me actually enjoys doing this and makes me feel like I'm being really creative. I feel a sense of freedom that nothing in my sketchbook is permanent. It also feels a bit fun to solve problems in a way, like how would I make a page better and fix something to make it look intentional? It just feels really fun and carefree to me. When I opened my sketchbook, I realized that the pocket I made was too small, so I decided if I could stick some of the scraps in other parts of the sketchbook, eventually just having less to put in the pocket overall, hoping it will all fit eventually. Spoiler alert, I ended up making a new pocket. Anyway, so far I'm feeling pretty proud of the way my sketchbook looks. I'm happy with the way everything's coming together. Obviously, there is pages I just want to fix up, and I just want the whole thing to feel intentional. I love all the textures and colors that I get in my sketchbook when I'm doing this collaging kind of activity. And when I'm covering up these drawings, I just have the intention of drawing over these scrap pieces of paper to just add a little bit more. I started talking without recording. So, it's a new day. I ended up making another pocket for my sketchbook just because I really didn't like the other one I made. It was too small, first of all, and then second of all, like I couldn't fit anything in there. It was like too tight to the sketchbook. I folded another piece of scrap paper and then just kind of made it a little bit more pocket-like, and I like this way better, so I'm gonna stick this in. I kind of went through my sketchbook yesterday and covered up everything that I just wasn't really feeling, and I figure whenever I'm ready I can go in and draw over those. So I'm gonna I think leave them for now, maybe, and then whenever I feel like it, just go in with pencil crayon and fill those in. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, let's put our pocket in our book. Some of you may be wondering why I didn't take off the old pocket before sticking the new one in, and that's because I definitely would rip the paper. It was honestly just easier to leave it there. This pocket is so much better, it's so much more functional, there's so much more space. I just really like it 100 times better. It's a new day. So I was kind of talking about this in my last video, but I'm participating in an art show right now. I posted it on my Instagram a while ago. If you want to follow me on Instagram, link is in the description. I'll also post the details in the description of this video if anyone is in Toronto and they want to go see the show. Anyway, I was so miserable and tired when I was dropping off my art. The subway wasn't running between 5 stations, so I had to take a shuttle bus. So I basically took a bus, the subway, another bus, and then another bus after that, and it took me 2.5 hours to get there at it was 8 in the morning. It was freezing cold. I was so tired, and I was just it's just awful. And then obviously it took me 2.5 hours to get back, so my whole day just felt like it was gone. That being said, it's all done with now, so that's good. Anyway, I want to kind of start updating my website monthly instead of constantly. I feel like I'm always adding new things to it, and I would rather just do one big update every single month than a bunch of little ones. With the little updates, it just feels like the work is never ending, which I know is a good thing. But I think for me, I really thrive off of being productive and getting things done, and when something never ever feels done, it stresses me out. So I think I'm just going to focus on doing one big monthly update. I need to do some photographing, and then I also want to update the descriptions for each series of work that I have on my website. I've kind of divided each group of paintings into series because I feel like it makes sense to me. So I think I have twins, fruit, collected lives, and another series of work I can't even think of right now. But I feel like all of those need descriptions because those titles and the work on its own, I don't know if people would really grasp what I'm trying to go for them. So yeah, I just want to add a bit more just to inform the viewer about what the actual work is about. Usually when I'm writing about my work, I honestly just word vomit and just kind of see what comes out and then start refining from there. I really don't have a specific way I write about my own art. I try and be as honest as possible and transparent as possible when I write about my art and what it means to me. Obviously, it's always going to mean something different to someone else, and I love that. But I think when I'm writing about it, I just kind of want to write things in just terms that I feel like I would understand, which is why I go for this word vomity kind of process first, because I feel like I'm getting out the basics of what my work is about. I also don't feel super restricted when it comes to changing those descriptions or really anything about my work over time. I've mentioned this in other videos, but I don't care if I change a title 6 years later of a painting. I think naturally artists' work just evolves over time, and the way you think about your own work evolves, which I think is a good thing. So I honestly don't feel super tied down to these descriptions that I'm creating. If I want to change them, I can. Just like everything else, honestly, in my art making process, I like to leave it as flexible as possible. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you want to sub, then sub. Stickers and magnets are available in the description if you're interested, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.